Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we had the second round of the playoffs, and we managed to pull off an incredible feat, that being sweeping the Colorado Avalanche and getting ourselves to the conference finals. So we went through a very tough team that obviously knocked us out last year. And it was a very good effort from the team. As you can see, 3 of those games were only by 1 win, but we managed to dig down deep, get some OT winners, and also just pretty much play a great defensive hockey that managed to get us to this conference finals. But like you can see, game 1, only allowing 2 goals. Then we only allowed 2 goals again in the next game. Only 1 goal in this game and 2 in the next. So without Connor Hellebuyck, I don't know if we would have got that series win, but we managed to do so. Also, probably bringing in guys like Jan Ruda and Nick Hague helped out with the defensive play in that series and helped get us to this point. But now we have a tougher task, which is going to be facing the Vegas Golden Knights, who are currently 8-1 in this playoff run. Also, not to mention the fact that we actually traded Logan Stanley to the Vegas Golden Knights earlier in this season to acquire Nick Hague. So it is going to be a battle of some former players that got dealt for each other. So it should be interesting to see who advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals against either Florida or Carolina. Regardless, I think whoever ends up paying a team in the East is going to have a tough time, because Carolina's probably still a very good team at this point, my guess. And Florida should also be pretty deep in terms of guys like Matthew Tkachuk and whatnot, my guess. But that's that. Let me show you guys quickly the player stats before we get into our comments. But basically, we are getting some good offensive production still from our lineup. Not the best depth scoring, I would say, on paper, but we do have a lot of guys with a lot of points. Also, some guys like Jan Ruda, who has just done all of a sudden a lot of offensive things, which I don't understand how he's picking up this amount of points, but I'm not going to question it. 6 points and a +7. He's usually a DFD, but he's been helping out with the offensive side of things. And you can see pretty much everybody on our team has points in this playoff run at the moment, except for Morgan Barron, who is going to be in the lineup for game 1 because there is still an injury at the moment to Rasmus Kupari, who will be back likely for game 2. And you can see goaltending wise, Connor Hellebuyck has just been elite. Without him, I don't know if we'd be in this situation. But let's get into some comments before we get into this conference finals matchup and see what you guys have to say. So the first one is from Saturn Otaku, who says, I honestly didn't expect a sweep, so amazing job by the team. Hopefully you have better luck against Vegas than I did in my Columbus franchise mode. Somehow we won the President's Trophy and made it to the Cup Finals in our first year. That's pretty crazy to do with Columbus. And yeah, hopefully we have better luck with Vegas, I guess, considering Vegas is a pretty stacked team. I will show you guys their roster right now before we get into the next comment. But yeah, they're a very stacked team in a sense, like great defensively. They do have a very good top line. They have goaltending, so in general, this might be our toughest task yet, even though we did technically just knock out a great Colorado Avalanche team. But you can see this is just a very solid roster. A little bit weaker in terms of the wingers, probably. But down the middle, they're very strong. Defensively, they're really strong, especially on that top 2. And then goaltending-wise, they do have a solid 84 as a starter and a backup. The next comment is from Yo-Yo What's Up, who says, great series against the Avalanche, so I gotta choose over my favorite team of the Vegas Golden Knights or the Winnipeg Jets. I gotta go with Winnipeg in a 4-3 series win or a 2-4 series loss. I think it'll come down to game 6. It's a cup or bust mode right now, and hopefully Winnipeg can win it. So yeah, if we are to win this series, he's thinking it's going to be 7 games. If we're to lose this series, it would be in 6 games. So I think it definitely could be a close series on paper, but honestly, we could just get randomly swept here too, and I wouldn't really bat an eye, because the game is just that type of game, right? Where you sweep one series and all of a sudden you just can't get it done in the next series. The next comment is from Michael Dose, who says, if you have a cheese team, then you should move to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I guess Milwaukee is known for cheese. I didn't actually know that, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe at some point we'll have to make a cheese team, like an actual team called the Cheese or something from Milwaukee as like a Draft to Glory, even though that sounds like the most stupid name for a Draft to Glory team. Like the Milwaukee Cheese, I don't know, what we could call them, cheese curds or something. The next comment is from Relaxing Ghost, who said, let's go snipe. I appreciate that. And then obviously we have 2 comments from my 2 channel members, Hockey Guy and Flame Husky, that are just both putting some emotes. Of course, both of them are putting out some planes and also a sweep as well from the broom. So very interesting comments there. That is the comments we got in last episode. So I think we're pretty much ready to get into this conference finals and see if we can beat Logan Stanley. Like I said, hopefully he doesn't score against us because it would be making it a lot worse. But I feel like we definitely got the better of the player in that trade because Nick Hague, I really like Nick Hague. He's been a very good acquisition. I think he's going to also come back in the offseason as well as a re-signee because, I mean, plus 15 through 29 regular season games, plus 4 in the playoffs. I'm just hoping that he can continue on that pace. And yeah, if we could just keep on holding on to him as like a top 4 defenseman, he would be a great piece to have behind like Morrissey and all that, even though he's more defensively oriented. But okay, that is that. Let's get into this conference finals. See if we can make it to our first cup finals, because if we lose this series, I don't know if we go into rebuild right away or what, but I know for a fact that we definitely need to go to rebuild somewhat soon. Obviously, maybe like a few years still, but Nick Ehlers being a pending free agent is the big thing, because obviously we don't know if we're going to be able to pay him that much amount of money, and who knows, maybe he won't want to come back to this team. So that's why we kind of need to win a cup when we have this opportunity to. So here we go, game 1 of the conference finals on home ice, because once again we have home ice advantage. Let's see if we could knock them out since we knocked out Colorado. First period of an all-important game number 1. And it is scoreless. I'll take that. Good first period again from Connor Hellebuyck. Like I said, he was dialed in against the Avs, and so far off to a good start here against Vegas. Shots are 12-8 in favor of them. Can we find a way to get that first goal in the second? Second period? 1-1. I'll take it. I will definitely take it. Martinuk opened the scoring for Vegas, but Kyle Connor answers back for us. That's good to see Kyle Connor getting going again. Shots are 20-17. Close game at 1, obviously. Who wants to break the player to break the deadlock in this third period? Come on, guys. Let's get that next goal. Mark Stone. 2 on Vegas. That's not ideal. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Come on, boys. Let's bring this game to OT. At least Kyle Connor scores. That's a huge one. Beating Robin Lehner. I think Aiden Hill was earlier in net, so I don't know if they changed goaltenders or not. There might have been like a minor injury. And we are, in fact, going to be going to overtime in Game 1 of the conference finals. We had 2 overtime wins against the Avs, so who knows, maybe we have another one in us. We're a very good like overtime type of team, it seems like. But this is a big game here, because if we lose this game, obviously, we need to technically win next game, or else we're going to be in a bad spot heading to Vegas, because we know they're a very good home ice team, and obviously we want to win when we have our home ice advantage. So let's see what happens in overtime. Who wants to be that hero, as Kyle Connor has both of our goals so far. Penalty kill early into overtime, and we killed it off. Good job, boys. That's a good effort from the penalty killers there. Come on, penalty kill again. Stop taking penalties, please. Power play for us. We do not score. No goals so far, despite all the special teams chances. And we are... Wait, we didn't go to double team. I didn't see who won. Yeah, I didn't see who won. Gregory Denisenko of all people. That's a 4th liner on their team. We lose 3-2 in overtime with a $1:47 left. I honestly didn't see who won because that sim thing popped up faster than I actually could read it off. But that sucks. That one was not on Hellebuyck. 42 saves in the loss. Our team just could not find a way to get that next goal. That's unfortunate. A lot of penalties in that overtime, too. Connor from Chinnikov and Connor from Chinnikov again. Not a terrible first game, but obviously losing on home ice is not a good thing. It was only Connor and Chinnikov picking up points. Who was badly minus that game? Morgan Barron. See, that's why I didn't really want to have Morgan Barron back in the lineup, but with Kupari being injured, that's the only thing we could really do. So yeah, Kupari coming back might help us out defensively on that bottom 6, because it seems like Morgan Barron's not that type of guy. So Kyle Connor is the first star of the game, Chinnikov the second star, and Aiden Hill got 3rd star. But then they have Robin Lehner in net for that second goal. I am confused. I am actually confused because I thought Aiden Hill started the game. And yeah, I think he did actually, because Robin Lehner must have came in the 3rd period, but both of them were in net for almost half the game each. That is kind of weird. Okay, well, we end up getting cheese there in that sense. We did not have more face-offs. They won more face-offs by a little bit. I don't know if we want to change anything about our lineup other than Kupari being put in for next game. Because our offense, in a way, hasn't been that good. It's been our defensive play that has been. So it's kind of weird. I will get Kupari back into the lineup here. Gustafsson will go back over to the wing. Barron will get taken out. Hopefully Kupari being back will help out things with the defensive side of things. That's all good. Perfect. Yeah, our offense technically hasn't been really that good when you think about it. Because, I mean, 3 goals there is okay. 5 goals there is good. 2 goals there, not so good. 3 goals is okay as well. And then 2 goals there. I feel like our offense in general has just not been that consistent. So we need to be a little bit more consistent on the offensive side of things. Let me go back to edit lines and maybe try and see if we can find a way to get our offense to be a bit more sparked. I know we're only down 1-0, but might as well make some changes. Let's swap Barabanov and Chinnikov for something. I don't really know. And then from a defensive standpoint, we'll go back Matt Roy on the top pairing with Morrissey. And even though Jan Ruda's been great, he's going to go back to the top 6 pairing, I think. And we are also going to probably swap Haig and Heinola, just because mine as well. Perfect. Okay. Let's see if we could get a good response in Game 2. Like I said, we've been a good defensive team this playoff run so far, but I haven't really been sold on the offense aside from a few players. So I'm hoping that we could find a way to start scoring more goals, because scoring 2 to 3 goals a game isn't going to guarantee you wins. Scoring 5 goals, on the other hand, will. So if we could get that offense going and still play good defensive hockey, we might be in business. But we got to win here, or else we're going to be down 0-2 headed to Vegas. So let's see what happens. They are 9-1 in the playoffs. We need to take them off their streak that they're on. First period of game number 2. 3-1 us. That's a great start for the offense. That's exactly what we kind of ordered. I meant to move my screen down. That's exactly what we kind of needed. A graded first offensive period. So Ehlers scored first on the power play. Logan Stanley scored. I didn't even realize that. Oh, boy. See, he hadn't scored at all in the playoffs, and of course he has to score against Connor Hellebuyck there. But Barabanov scores and Heinola scores. It'd be nice to see if, Nick Haig could score in this game too. But shots are 11-11, and it's a 3-1 lead for us. Let's make sure they can't come back into second, please, boys. Second period. They're within 1. I don't like it. Jack Eichel. Shots are 28-21 in favor of Vegas. So, and once again, Connor Hellebuyck is the main reason why we're probably winning this game. Let's see what happens in this third period. See if we could hold off Vegas. Come on, boys. I don't like that Logan Stanley scored this game. Penalty kill. Nicely done, penalty killers. Penalty kill again. Stop taking penalties, boys. We need to be a bit more disciplined if we want to win games. Penalty kill again. That's the third penalty of this period for us. We managed to kill it off. Final few minutes. No. No. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? See, this game, literally, I knew it. When I traded Logan Stanley and I said that we could have played him in the conference finals, I said, I think I said something along the lines is like, hopefully Logan Stanley doesn't at least come back to bite us in that sense. Well, this guy's got 2 goals in this game right here. Of course. Logan Stanley's not even a goal-scoring defenseman, but he's got 2 goals in a big game that we need to technically win, or else we're going to have to win both games in Vegas. Oh, boy. We were up 3-1. And now it's 3-3 going to overtime. Shots are 38-32 in favor of them, so we're going to overtime for the second consecutive game. Can you guys please just shut down Logan Stanley and anybody on the Vegas Golden Knights and get that OT winner, please? I don't want to blow this game. Please. Come on, Nick Haig, get the OT winner. That would be an epic way to end this game. That would be some good redemption at least. Because so far, Logan Stanley's looking better. Penalty kill again. These refs are very heavily focused on Vegas winning this series, it seems like. Not a surprise, though. Final few minutes of this first overtime. We are going to double overtime. God damn. We almost went to double overtime last game as well, but it ended very late into the first OT. Shots are 49-44 in favor of Vegas. We know it's going to end early. Nick Haig probably could get this OT winner, and then that would be really good. Please. Come on, Jets. You got to get it done. Let's see what happens. Come on, and we know it's going to end fast. Please, power play for us. And we do score, and it's Barabanov on the power play in double OT. We have tied the series. That's a huge win there and a huge goal from Barabanov. And, yeah, at least we have a tie series headed to Vegas. We need to win at least one game on their home ice as well. But final shots were 49-46, so a good performance again from our goaltending. Defense was okay, and our offense managed to just barely get it done because of a good first period, so I will take that. So Ehlers from Perfetti and Morrissey, Barabanov from Heinola and Velarde, Heinola from Appleton, and Barabanov from Velarde and Chinnikov. So good game from a lot of the guys that we brought in over these first 2 years. Barabanov, Chinnikov, who was the other one? Not Velarde. Well, I guess Velarde in a way because the actual Jets brought in Velarde recently, so that makes sense. Barabanov gets first star, Logan Stanley the second star of the game. That is hilarious. And Connor Hellebuyck the third star. If we would have had Logan Stanley on our team, we would have won that game convincingly, but that was not the case. Nick Hague so far has been the worst player out of this trade, but I didn't expect Logan Stanley to pick up 2 goals in a game. So we all had Vegas only their second loss of the playoffs, so that's a huge one for us. But we know they're also, I'm pretty sure they're undefeated on home ice right now. Let me double check on that. But this is a big game. Like I said, we need to win 1 game of theirs on home ice, but I'm pretty sure they have not lost in Vegas. Let's see. Let's go down here. Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, they have not lost on home ice up to this point. Can we be the first team to win in Vegas in the postseason? That would be amazing. It's definitely a tough arena to play in. I could definitely tell that from when I watched games against the Golden Knights on TV. Let's see what happens. Let's keep the team the same. That was an okay second game. Let's see if we could take a 2-1 series lead. This is definitely the type of series that should go to Game 6 or Game 7, I feel like. But let's see what happens. Let's give them their first loss on home ice. First period of game number 3. 1-1. I'll take it. Martinook scores again early on, but Kyle Connor has an answer just like game number 1. Shots are 9-9. It's a 1-1 game. Very even period. Can we find a way to get that lead? Second period. 4-1 for us. That's a massive period. Kyle Connor has a hat trick already, and we have 1 more period still left to play. That's a huge second period effort. The type of guys that get paid a lot of money, Connor and Scheifele scoring some goals. We're outshooting 26-14, and we're a period away from giving Vegas their first loss on home ice of the playoffs. Let's see what happens. See if we can lock this game down. Power play opportunity early into the third period, and we do not capitalize, but that's okay. Just got to hold them off a little bit longer here. Power play again for us. We do not score again. We're into the final 5 minutes, still up by 3, so it looks like we are going to be the first team to beat the Vegas Golden Knights in Vegas, and we have taken our first lead of this conference finals. Let's go. Let's freaking go. That was a good game. Definitely a good game. So Connor from Tanev and Hellebuyck. So Chris Tanev picking up an assist, and Hellebuyck did as well, I should say. Connor from Ehlers and Scheifele. Scheifele from Ehlers and Roy, and Connor from Barabanov. Without Kyle Connor as well on this team, we would definitely not be in a good spot because he's been our best offensive player by far. So Connor the first star of the game. Robin Leonard the second star, which is kind of weird considering he got put in, I think, after that second period. So he comes in and just has a shutout period pretty much, and they for some reason decided to give him the second star of the game. Connor Hellebuyck gets third star. How much minutes did Leonard play? Leonard only played 33 minutes, so I guess it was just early into the second period that Aiden Hill got replaced. So there is that. Did we have more face-off wins? Yes, we did, only by 1. Okay, we have our first lead of the series. That was a great game. Good offense, great defense like we've been having. Just got to keep the momentum going. We're the first team to beat Vegas 2 times in a playoff round. I think I got to keep the lineup the same. Everything's working out well. Having Kupari back in our lineup has helped out probably with the defensive play a bit too. So I do like that. I think we got to keep the team the same. Yeah, I'm going to keep the team the exact same for Game 4. Can we take a convincing 3-1 series lead and hand Vegas their second loss on home ice and have a chance to close out them? First period of game number 4. 2-1 us. I'll take it. Iafallo scores. He has not really scored that much, so that's good to see him score. Chandler Stevenson tied the game up, but we get another power play goal from Cole Perfetti. So our power play has been working quite well at this point in time. Shots are 14-7 in favor of us, so we double them in shots and in goals. We need to have a strong defensive period here and maybe get some insurance just to play it a bit safe. Second period, 3-2. I guess I'll take that. Scheifele made it 3-1, but Nick Foligno has gotten Vegas back within one. Shots are 22-20, so pretty even game up to this point. Let's see if we could lock them out. And sorry about that, my voice just completely died on me. But let's see if we could lock them down now. Get some insurance here and be one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Penalty kill, nicely done. Come on, boys, just lock it down. Get one more goal for me, though, just to play it safe. Penalty kill again. Stop taking penalties in the third period, guys. We got to be more disciplined. Final few minutes. We are one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Well, I was not expecting us to have an easy ride after that first game. But here we are. We could have actually swept them by this point in time, which is kind of crazy. So Iafallo from Barabanov, Perfetti from Chinnikov and Iafallo, and Scheifele from Connor and Ehlers. But we are one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Connor Hellebuyck first star of the game, Iafallo the second star, and Foligno the third. Let's freaking go. Despite Logan Stanley being a little bit of a pain in the ass in Game 2, we have had a good response to it. And yeah, we've won 3 straight games now. We could have won Game 1 as well if we would have not lost in overtime. So, one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals. Carolina and Florida currently tied at 2, so we still don't really know who awaits us potentially. But Vegas could still come back in this series, so we do not want to get too far ahead of ourselves here just yet. Let's keep the team the exact same, I think. Yeah, I think we got to keep the team the exact same. We're on a 3-game winning streak. Just got to get one more win on the back of Kyle Connor and Connor Hellebuyck, probably, mostly. Because Kyle Connor's got 20 points now at this point. Almost a goal and an assist per game. A little bit underneath that, but still. Okay, let's go back over to sim screen and let's get into this Game 5 and see if we could take him out in 5 games. I know that, what was it? Yeah, well, who was it that said it again? I gotta double check it. Yo, what's up? He was saying about that if we were to lose the series, it would be in 6 games, and there's no chance we could lose in 6 games. So, hypothetically, by his standard now, we should be able to win the series in its 7 games if we go to a Game 7. But Game 5, if we could close them out here, that would be great. So here we go. Game 5 on home ice. Can we get another win? The last game we had on home ice was an OT win. Can we close out Vegas and go to the Cup Finals for the first time in franchise history, I guess? Because the Atlanta Thrashers obviously never came close. First period, 3-2 for us. Great offensive period, but also not a good period for Hellebuyck. Ehlers opened the scoring. Eichel and Stevenson score for them to give them the lead. But Velarde and Connor score for us. Good to see Velarde getting back on the board because he has not really scored a lot in these playoffs. I think his other goal was a game-winning goal in OT in last round. But shots are 11-10. We're up by a goal. We need to have a better defensive period in the second, and maybe get some insurance would be good too. Second period, 4-2 for us. That's a huge insurance goal, and of course it's Kyle Connor again. I honestly want to hold on to Kyle Connor until he retires at this rate based on how good he produces. Let's go to real-time simulation, third period. If we are going to close them out, we'll probably end up watching us advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think we probably will. I just got to make sure my game audio is on a different tab. Yeah, I think it is. Just because I don't want to obviously have my game audio being like louder than my voice. But if we have a chance to win the Western Conference, obviously we will watch that presentation, and then obviously next episode will be the Cup Finals. So let's see what happens, see if we could close out Vegas, or are they going to come back in this third period and survive another day. Come on, boys, let's lock them down. I want to see us on home ice. That would be nice here. Hey, Chris Tanev hasn't scored at all, makes it 5-2. Kyle Connor makes it 6-2. That's the dagger. We're going to be going to the Stanley Cup Finals in this year number 2, which is huge. After last year, we got disappointed in round number 2. This year, we are going to be going to the Cup Finals. We're not going to go with the alternate jersey. We're going to go with my favorite jersey, which is the one I'm wearing currently, the reverse retro. I guess I'll move myself to... Actually, maybe I should actually remove myself from the screen when we're watching this. I don't really know how I should work the face cam thing in here. Maybe I'll put myself right there for now and see how it looks, and it will change it up. But definitely going to go to this jersey. This is my favorite jersey the Jets have ever put out. So we're definitely going to go with that. And then we'll give, I guess, Vegas their... we We could give them their reverse retro. Why not? Why not? Let's see us advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. This is going to be awesome. But yeah, I'm going to definitely keep an eye on my face cam and see if it's in a bad spot right now. Let's see. How does it look in terms of this? It's a little bit in a bad spot. Let me see what it looks like down here. Kind of bad spot. I'm going to just completely remove my face for now. So that way you guys can kind of see the entire game. Ooh, this true broadcast thing for the Jets Arena is kind of a weird spot. Chinnikov walks in, a good save from Aiden Hill. Not that it really matters for us to score more goals, but love to see the Winnipeg whiteout here in Game 5. I didn't expect us to only take 5 games to knock this team out. But that means we've steamrolled the Avs in 4 games, and we've also taken out a good Vegas team in only 5 games. And yeah, that means we've been, I guess, 9-1 in our last... wait, not 9-1. What I'm trying to think of. We're technically like 8-1 in our last 2 series since the first round. So just got to get it done in the Cup Finals, but it's going to be a tough task. Florida or Carolina. I know both those teams usually simulate pretty well in franchise mode, especially Carolina. So I'm not looking forward to playing them if we have to face them. But yeah, let's just lock it down. It's cool to see all the fans wearing white in the arena as well. They actually have the whiteout, because if they were not wearing white, it would be kind of like unrealistic. But the Winnipeg whiteout is probably one of my favorite things in the playoffs. So happy to see it in action finally. And also kind of cool to see the reverse retro jersey that I've been wearing in game, because I don't think I've watched a game with them ever wearing it, but it is one of my favorite jerseys they've ever put out, probably. I also do like the navy blue version of this as well. I think they would be a better home and away than their current jerseys, but that's just me. Okay, final 20 seconds, because there's an accelerated clock for the first 30 seconds of the final minute, which is kind of annoying for offline users. It shouldn't be like that. It should only be like that for online players, but here I am. Okay, 10 seconds away. Morrissey carrying it up. He doesn't need to score. He just gets it in deep. That's exactly what you need to do. And we are going to be going to the Stanley Cup Finals in year 2, taking out Vegas in only 5 games. And now, who awaits us? Carolina or the Florida Panthers? And I don't even know who our captain is. I guess it'd still be Lowry, right? Because Lowry would be technically the captain in real life right now. So I would assume he's actually the captain on the team still. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Rocking a good beard. Still a generic face for him, though, which is kind of annoying, but is what it is. There's Connor Hellebuck, looking like Connor Hellebuck. And there is Lowry. Not going to touch the trophy, which is maybe a good thing as we advance to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's go. That was a good win. Good win for the boys. Let's get out of this because we don't really need to see the highlights. But a very big statement victory. Shots were even at the end of it. Connor Hellebuck gets 3rd star of the game. I swear this guy's like a star every single game. Scheifele the 2nd star with 2 assists. And who is going to be the 1st star? Kyle Connor. With a hat-trick again? I didn't realize he had a hat-trick again. Or yeah, I think that's the 2nd hat-trick he's had in this conference finals, right? Because was that last game he had a hat-trick? I feel like I'm just seeing deja vu. I don't remember which game it was, but he's had 2 hat-tricks, I think, in this conference finals, which is insane. So there is our points from all of our players, and great performance again from Hellebuck. As we find ourselves in the Stanley Cup Finals, like I said, though, who is going to be awaiting us? Is it Carolina or is it Florida? I'm going to guess it's going to be Carolina, but I don't know. Oh, Florida's up 3-2. Florida's a win away from the Cup Finals. We will take a look at our player stats first before we see who we're up against. And yeah, Kyle Connor's been the man. I'm pretty sure he's coming off back-to-back hat-tricks. So, unless for some reason I just completely blanked and I didn't remember that this was the game that he had a hat-trick in. But he's definitely been our best player. Scheifele's been also really good, though. 17 points in 16 games. Glad we held on to him a little bit longer. Cole Perfetti, 9 points is pretty solid still. Velarde on 9 points. Lowry on 7, but he has not scored a goal in the playoffs yet, which is kind of questionable. Appleton, 5 points in 16 games, only 1 goal. Kupari, 3 points. Gustafsson, 3 points. So you can kind of see that depth scoring not super good. It's like always these kind of guys that are scoring all the goals. But like you have all these guys on only 1 or 2 goals pretty much. Left wing wise, Kyle Connor's been insane. 23 points, 13 goals in 16 games. Ehlers on 15 points is great. Iafallo on 7 points is okay. And nothing for Barron so far. Right wing wise, Barabanov's been a great acquisition since we brought him in, and Chinnikov as well. So both those guys have been nice. Defensively, Morrissey on 12 points. Ruda had no points in that conference finals, but that's okay. He's a +8, so I'll take it. Heinola 5 points is pretty good. Same with Tanev, 5 points. Matt Roy has 3 points. He's the only minus defenseman, so that's a bit concerning. And he has 21 penalty minutes, which is kind of crazy too. And Nick Hague, 2 points and a +1. Goaltending-wise, Hellebuck has been insane. He got even better after that round. A .928 save percentage now in this playoff run. So without him and without Kyle Connor, I don't think we'd be in this position for sure. But luckily for us, those guys are playing really good. And then Scheifele has as well. Everybody else is under point per game. So it's been basically our top players are playing like our top players. Okay, the question is, who is going to meet us in the Cup Finals? Is it Florida or is it going to be Carolina? Let's see, will Carolina force a Game 7? Did they force a Game 7? No, not yet. They did not force a Game 7. We will be facing the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals in 25. They were 51-29-2, so technically they are our toughest task yet. But we have knocked out 2 very tough teams before this. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to that. I didn't realize how good their record was. But let's take a comparison in the regular season and playoff-wise first, and then we'll see what their roster is made of. So, in terms of the entire league-wise, actually, let's go entire league, I guess. Florida was the 4th best team. They were just above us in the standings by 3 points. They were way worse offensively, but they were way better defensively. Okay. Power play wise in the regular season, they were better than us, and penalty kill wise, they were better. So they had better special teams and better defense. We had better 5-on-5 offense, so to speak. And going into the playoffs, they were also on a heater at 8-2 in their last 10 games. They had 13 shorthanded goals to lead the league. That's kind of scary. And in playoff wise so far, how have they been simulating? Let's see, entire league. Let's go by wins here. So we are both 12-4, almost identical goals for, almost identical goals against, but they are technically a little bit better offensively and a little bit better defensively. Their power play has been better, and their penalty kill has been worse. So it might be a very even matchup. It might be based on the home record and the away record as well. We are 9-1 in our last 10 games. They're 7-3. Who have they gone through so far up to this point? Other than Carolina. They went through Boston via sweep. They took out the Leafs in 6 games, which is probably a good win there. And they also took out Carolina. The fact that they took out the Leafs is kind of scary because the Leafs, we know, are a pretty good team with Matthews and Marner and Nylander. So, let's see what Florida is looking like. Probably still Matthew Tkachuk in the normal categories or normal people. Yeah, Tkachuk, Barkov, and Lundell. Very good top line. Very good top line. A lot of X factors as well. Second line has Carter Verhaeghe, obviously really good. Sam Bennett and Maki Samoskevich, I think it's pronounced, or Samskevich, something like that. But that's a pretty good top 6. Samskevich is a bit weak. Third line, Mike Amadio, former Vegas Golden Knight. Evan Rodriguez and Patrick Maroon's over there now, okay. So that third line is okay. It's a bit weak with Maroon, but still not bad. Fourth line of Asplund, Louis Durainen, and Paul Stastny, who's now retired actually IRL. But yeah, that's a very good forward core. Good depth, especially down the middle. Winger depth is pretty solid as well. Maybe a little bit weak. Defensively, that is a weird defensive core. I don't think I've ever seen a defensive core set up like this by the AI. So you have a very weak left side, but a very strong right side. Like, Urho Vakanainen's not that great. He's like a top 6 defenseman at best. Brandon Montour is a beast. Aaron Ekblad's a beast. Nico Mikkola is not that good. And Zach Ewens as a 71 is not that good. But you have Drew Doughty in Florida next to him. That's kind of an interesting run by the AI. I'm kind of surprised on that because sometimes, like, at least in the past before they set up, they fixed AI with the patch and stuff, or they fixed up some stuff with the patch. They used to run, like, right defenseman on the left side, even though they couldn't play the left side, but now The AI is smart enough that they're going to run all these guys on the right side and all these weaker guys on the left side like they're supposed to. So that's kind of neat. Goaltending-wise, Spencer Knight. Oh, boy. And Spencer Martin, the Spencers. First time I've ever seen two Spencer goalies at the same time. And Sheldon Dries is there. Dylan Gambrell and Adam Gaudette. Man, Gambrell and Gaudette just makes me flashback of the Sens in like 2021, I think it was, or 2020. That's kind of funny. Yeah, that's a good team. That's a good team. Great 3 defensemen there. Great offensive core. Good goaltending. It's going to be tough. Their power play is looking pretty nasty too. Barkov, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, Montour, Ekblad. Then you have Doughty, Samoskevich, Rodriguez, Lundell, and Bennett. Yeah, their power play looks pretty solid. Pretty solid. So anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So in next episode, we'll take it to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Florida Panthers, where we might have our only early chance to win a Stanley Cup, because if we don't win this, obviously we could lose Nick Ehlers and all that. So I'm hoping we could get it done here, and then we could kind of take us more towards the rebuild, retool route in a sense, and start drafting some good players and hopefully getting ourselves back to a Cup Finals again very, very soon. Send anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.